Hey, what is going on, crypto people? So listen, Bitcoin's over 102,000, or at least it hit $102,000 sometime today. That is pretty cool. Some interesting, I don't know, I don't know if it's drama, but some interesting stuff about the XRPL ledger and some possible halting instability. Some guys, talking about taking that XRP off and putting it in centralized exchanges because at least you'll be able to trade it. We're going to get into the XRPL drama a little bit. We'll get into that. I do find some stuff fascinating, or the lack of response fascinating from the Ripple camp. Interesting to say the least. Brad Garlinghouse is excited about a 2025. Jeremy Hogan says, yeah, it's cool to be excited, but let's get some laws passed. Let's get some laws passed. So we'll get into that as well. All right, fam. This is your XRP Ripple daily news in around 0 to 10 minutes. Let's get into this CoinGecko market cap stuff here real quick. According to CoinGecko, the total cryptocurrency market cap is up 1.8% in the last 24 hours and is currently at 3.76 trillion. Pretty cool. Bitcoin dominance about 54%. Currently, Bitcoin is trading at $101,863. And on the 30 days, up 2%. Ethereum is trading at $3,682. And on the 30-day, Ethereum is down 7.7%. Interesting. XRP is trading at $2.42. And on the 30-day, it is down. XRP is down 2.7%. Solana is trading at $218. And on a 30-day, Solana's down 9%. Dogecoin is trading at 38 cents for the XRP entertaining content creator who can't seem to be able to pronounce Doge correctly. It's Doge, bro. It's Doge. All right, so 38 cents for Dogecoin. And on a 30-day, it's down 15%. Good night. So we is trading at $5.18, and on the 30-day, so we is up 22.7%. So cool. We are able to get a win there at Sue at 55 cents. So that's been cool. What else we got? What else we got besides Sweet? I think that's it, right? The market again, fam, is just doing what the freaking market does. It's just doing what it does, just doing what it does. All right, let's go with this drama about the XRPL ledger. So Scott, Dr. J. Scott Branson, I don't know. This is what it says here. It's a advisor to that new XRPL foundation, right? Inc. FinTech. I think that's the new XRPL foundation thing. Says multi-year XRPL DUNL validator, slant server operator. Just for some context. So this is what he says. I always encourage people to trust L1 networks like the XRPL over exchanges. Given, however, the instability of the XRP ledger, I cannot, in good faith, encourage anyone to store assets on the XRPL as they may become inaccessible. Consider moving your XRP to a trusted exchange, right? So that's the thing that people got up in arms about. Take it off the self-custody and put it in the custody of the exchanges, right? People were like, what the world? How does that make any sense at all? And I think everyone was missing his point. His point is, if it's on the XRPL, as opposed to, they're different. The XRP that you have on the XRPL, on the XRP that you see on a centralized exchanges are different. The XRP is always on the XRPL. So if that's the case, when you see XRP on a centralized exchange, it means it's just an IOU version of the XRP, which means that IOU version is now no longer susceptible to challenges of the XRPL, like if it halts, like if it pauses, like if it whatever. that IOU version of the XRP on the centralized exchanges, you can still use it, you can trade it, you can swap it, you can do whatever. That's what he's saying. Okay? Your XRP is always going to be on a ledger. But what he's saying with a pause or with some instability or what a halt, if it's in a self-custody wallet, which means it's on the XRP, you can't do anything with it. So that's what he's saying, given what he believes the recent phase or stage of this instability that is currently, he believes, currently on the XRPL. Now, everyone knows not your keys, not your crypto. Everyone knows that. Everyone knows not your keys, not your crypto. So just understand that. So you have to be like I am. I'm good. I am good with my XRP being in self-custody and being susceptible to any instabilities of the ledger or any halting of the ledger or any whatever. Right? Obviously not a hack, obviously, because you don't want to lose it. But and that's never happened. I'm good with that. Okay, I'm good. What he's saying is, if you're coming up against it, and you got to move that XRP for whatever reason, I don't know what it's going to be. I don't know. Emergency comes up here. You need some quick cash or whatever. He's saying that you're susceptible to that halting, pausing, this recent events that happens on this XRPL that just happened. That's what he's saying. You just throwing out that caution. I don't know. You need some XRP because I don't know. For whatever reason, it might not be immediately accessible on the ledger because of what he's pointing out is some instability issues. So just understand that. Again, I'm gonna say this again for all the people in the comments. We all know not your keys, not your crypto. We all know it. I personally do not have any crypto on centralized exchanges. I just don't. I don't put my stuff there. I'll deal with the self-custody issues of the layer ones, whatever those issues are, right? Remember, I was in the C5 thing with Celsius. Remember that. Learned my lesson. The yield was not worth the risk. And this we're talking about, this wasn't even smart contract risk. This was human. That was human risk over there, right? So please, I hope I said that enough so I don't get people in the comments. What? You recommend them? You put your XRP on centralized exchanges? Nope, we're not. All right. So he says here, this is just my opinion, of course. Anything you do with your assets is your own choice, right? This instability thing. So I said, Joel Cass, what's going on here? Is this true? Instability of the XRP ledger. Why would a DUNL person, former, say that, bring it up? CryptoCeej said, quick questions, 2 of them. This pause appearing, can you explain that? Secondly, is that ledger an example where only 19 out of 35 UNLs came to agree? He said, wow, nice catch. That the pause was likely due to validators taking longer than usual to propose a transaction set for that ledger, this particular ledger, okay? While monitoring shows 19 of 35, that ledger includes transactions, so it was ultimately validated, though less than 80% of validators did so. Thus, multiple validators were on the negative UNL at that time. CryptoCeej goes on to say, so what is the minimum number of validators needed to approve a ledger? Scott says, if the negative UNL is full, 50% of validators can be offline, at least in theory. Vet says, this is an irresponsible comment that you're making. Terrible wording. People panicking, thinking their XRP funds are not safe. How about educating people and help them navigate instead? Very sad. Scott says, the network is and has been unstable. And you know, labeling this as growing pains is pure BS. I personally wouldn't keep my assets in a place where I may or may not be able to access them. Why would I encourage people to do differently? Again, be aware of the risk and make your own decisions. This is what he says right here. This is just my opinion, of course. Anything you do with your assets is your own choice. But again, I followed this whole thread here, and I see this Scott Branson guy respond to 90 to 95% of everyone's posts. Everyone commenting about his post, he responds. 95%, you can see it here, maybe even more. So it's just a thread that maybe you want to go through. My challenge is in this thread. Why wouldn't Mayuka or or David Schwartz respond? What do you mean by instability? Do tell. How do you come up with this? Is a former DUNL validator. And there's no response directly to this. That doesn't seem to be smart. This is the XRPL we're talking about here. Yeah, maybe they're just busy. But it doesn't seem smart to me that you don't respond to calling the ledger and saying that it's unstable, and it's been that way for a while. The network is and has been unstable. So this another doctor, Arthur XPM person says, it is a good thing that no incentives is still the best incentive to secure a multi-billion-dollar blockchain, right? I mean, Dr. Artur has been really, not great, right? With what do I want to say? Not great with this best incentive is no, he doesn't like it. Right? And in that post or somewhere around this, we get David Schwartz and Mayuka commenting about the no incentive, best incentive thing, not the instability of the ledger. Like I have a problem with that. You're commenting on the fact that the Bitcoin validators know people, they don't get incentivized. That you comment on, but you don't count on a former DUNL validator for 3 years. You don't comment on the instability. You don't correct it. You don't face it. You don't take it on, head on and address it. You're talking about the incentive thing. You're commenting on that. It's like that's just not a great look to me. That's just. Hmm. So anyway, I'm reading these comments here. Forgive me. I just don't like you want to go back and forth with this, endless discussion of best incentive, no incentive. You want to go back and forth with that, Mayuka and Joel Katz, David Schwartz, but you don't want to address a person personally attacking the stability of the network. That's beneath you. You have no time to address that. But one of these threads here, you're on here talking about the incentive and no incentive is the best incentive. You comment on that? Like, what the world? Both of them commented on, well, Bitcoin, no, people don't get incentive. Like, that's what you comment about? Not this claim of it being unstable? I don't know, man. It's just not a great look, David. It's just not a great look. I'm gonna I'm gonna also say this before I go on. There is we cannot underestimate the significance of the cloud on title that happened with the lawsuit from the United States government for the digital asset XRP, which means the XRPL for Brad and Chris and the company personally and the company. We can't just say, oh, that was just no, that's a major thing. So that added flames to the fire. But I would humbly suggest to you, if there's not enough people, validators running these nodes or people building on the ledger, it is because there's not a compensation that goes along with that. There's, you can't deny that. And trying to convince people that they should be wanting to run these validators for the love of the XRPL. It doesn't make sense. It's not based in reality. So here's the thing that I would say, are you working for free? Are are you like, you just showing up at Ripple and you're good because, you know, I'm doing it for the love of it? It doesn't make sense to me. But I also want to point out, that cloud on title from that lawsuit is a big deal. And maybe that's the reason a lot of distractions. I don't know if they can think about that 100 to 200 million that they could have somehow used to incentivize these validators or whatever to keep running. I don't know. But they got to come up with it, in my opinion, they got to come up with an incentive structure to get more people doing these validator node things. And let's not have discussions back and forth about what's a node and what's a validator. I mean, what? This is back and forth on X about the textbook definition of a node slant a validator from Mayuka and freaking David Schwartz and this Scott guy, a former DUNL. Really? That's what we're talking about? We're not addressing the elephant in the room of this instability of the network that's being put out there publicly. You're not addressing that, but you're going back and forth about a textbook definition of a node or a validator. Really? Anyhow, Eleanor Terry put this out. Says new, the Federal Reserve Board has announced the resignation of Michael Barr as the vice chair for supervision. Barr will remain on the board of governors. Eleanor says a Warren acolyte, Barr was widely considered to be a big part of the reason why banks have been unable to engage with and custody crypto. I bet you the XRP entertaining content creators are losing their mind over this one. If you know, you know. So Brad Garlinghouse said this. I like this post from Brad. 2025 is here, and the Trump bull market is real. For Ripple, this is even more personal after Gensler's SEC effectively froze our business opportunities here at home for years. The optimism is obvious and very deserved. Today, 75% of Ripple's open roles are now United States based, while over the last 4 years, the vast majority of hires were outside the US. Can you do some Texas gigs or something, Brad? Can you do some Austin, Texas gigs? Come up with something out, I'll consider that. Can you come up with some awesome stuff? So that's good news. We signed more U.S. deals in the last 6 weeks of 2024 since the election than the previous 6 months. Awesome. Team Trump was already jumpstarting innovation and job growth in the U.S. with Scott Bessent, David Sachs, Paul Atkins, and others at the helm. And they aren't even in office yet. Say what you want, but the Trump effect is already making crypto great again. Through his campaign and the administration, day one priorities, right? You got to get Brad's background. He understands the game completely. He has a job as a CEO. You understand that? He has a job. And he's a smart guy, for sure. You would want him as the CEO of your company, I think. So, but Jeremy Hogan reminds us, look, he says, let's get the work is spot on. He's responding to Brad Garlinghouse post. It's a pro-crypto legislature, but the law won't magically write themselves. We all need to stay involved and ensure the laws that are drafted are workable for the industry. But at the same time, weed out as much of the fraud and risk as possible. Nicely done. Well said, Jeremy. So listen, there it is, fam. It's important to understand where we are. I think Scott pointing out that instability is important. I find it alarming again that David and Mayuka didn't respond to it. I'm very optimistic about the digital asset space going forward, the digital asset XRP going forward because it's still a speculative market. Real world use case utility. This cycle, I doubt it, unless it's the AI agents. The AI utility, I think, will usher in utility, followed by gaming. Gaming might help to, which is a form of utility. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. And shout out to Jeremy for reminding us what's really, really important. Again, don't fade the fact that there was a lawsuit. You know, there was a lawsuit and it's a major cloud on title. And maybe to get some time to think about figuring out a way to incentivize the node people. I don't know, but I know they need to. I know they need to. In my opinion, they need to do it. Because the best of the best of talent want to get paid and compensated for doing it. It's just common sense. It's just common sense, in my opinion. All right, fam. Let's wrap up the XRP Ripple Daily News in around 0 to 10 minutes. I hope that it has been of value to you. If it has, do me a favor and hit that like button. It's one of the greatest ways to support the channel. It also gets the channel out to more people who just don't know that a new financial system is being built right underneath their nose. And we can help to get that word out by hitting that like button. And do me a favor, if you happen to be in that 45 to 55% or so people that are hanging out, listening to, or watching the CryptoCeej, do me a favor. If you've been enjoying those hangouts, please consider subscribing to the channel. And don't forget to ring that notification bell so that you know whenever we go live or whenever we upload a video. By the way, we got a goal to get to 9,000 subs by the end of January. Let's see if we can make that happen together. I'm going to end this live stream this video like I do all my videos and remind you guys of this. Old money doesn't want you to win. But that's okay, though, because you and I, we're already winning. And I would ask you to consider this, or perhaps ponder the idea or notion of living your life permissionless. I'll talk to you guys soon. See ya.